There was a time, long before the flood, when the world still remembered Allah. People prayed, people worshipped sincerely, and among them lived righteous men who reminded everyone about truth, kindness, and obedience to Allah. Whenever people became weak in faith, they would sit beside these righteous men and feel their hearts come alive again. But nothing in this dunya lasts forever. One by one, those righteous men died, and suddenly, the world felt empty. People cried over their graves. They missed their voices. They missed the peace they used to feel around them. That's when Shaitan made his move, not with violence, not with open evil, but with an idea that sounded innocent. He whispered to the people, "Why don't you make statues of these righteous men? Not to worship them, just to remember them." And the people agreed. At first it looked harmless. They placed the statues in their gathering places, whenever they saw them. But Shaitan was patient. He knew corruption doesn't happen in one night. Years passed, then generations passed. Children were born who never knew why the statues were created in the first place. Slowly, the truth disappeared. The people began respecting the statues too much. Then they started asking them for help, then bowing to them, then worshipping them completely. Humanity had fallen into shirk. The skies still looked normal. The markets were still crowded. People still laughed and lived their lives. But spiritually, the world had become dark, and Allah saw everything. He saw people abandoning the truth. He saw hearts becoming harder. He saw humanity drowning in sin before any flood had even begun. Then Allah chose one man, a man different from the rest, a man whose heart was pure, a man whose patience would become legendary. His name was Nuh. Nuh, peace be upon him. And soon his people would hear a message that will, Nuh, peace be upon him, stood before his people for the very first time, not as a king, not as a warrior, but as a messenger from Allah. He looked at the people around him, people he grew up with, people he cared about, and his heart broke because they were worshiping stones, statues that couldn't speak, couldn't move, couldn't even protect themselves. Yet people cried to them in desperation. So Nuh called out, "O my people, worship Allah alone. You have no God besides Him." At first, the people were confused. Some laughed, some stared silently, others became angry immediately. But Nuh continued speaking. He reminded them about the signs of Allah, the sun that rises every morning, the moon that lights the night sky, the rain that brings dead land back to life, the human body, the soul, the heartbeat. "Do you really think idols created all this?" he asked. "Or was it Allah, the Lord of the worlds?" For a moment, some hearts softened. The poor people listened carefully. The weak, the forgotten, those who suffered the most in life. Because truth reaches sincere hearts first. One by one, they accepted Islam. But the wealthy leaders hated what they were seeing. Their pride was too big. They mocked Nuh openly. "You're just a human being like us." Nuh answered calmly, "Yes, I am human, and Allah sends human messengers to human beings." But they refused to listen. Instead, they attacked him with insults. "Look who follows you," they laughed. "The poor people, the weak people, the nobodies." Then they gave Nuh an offer. "If you really want us to believe in you, get rid of your poor followers." The rich men thought faith belonged only to powerful people. He looked at them and said, "I will never drive away the believers." That answer filled the leaders with rage, because Nuh wasn't afraid of them. He didn't care about their money, their status, their power. He only cared about Allah. And from that moment, the war between truth and falsehood truly began. Days passed, then months, then years, and Nuh, peace be upon him, kept calling his people back to Allah. Every morning, he warned them. Every night, he prayed for them. He spoke gently. He spoke publicly. He spoke privately. But no matter what he did, most people refused to change. Whenever Nuh walked through the streets, people mocked him. Some covered their ears so they wouldn't hear his words. Parents even warned their children, "Stay away from Nuh. Don't listen to him." Generation after generation, the hatred grew worse. But Nuh never gave up. Imagine preaching for not 10 years, not 50 years, but 950 years. 950 years of rejection. 950 years of heartbreak. 950 years of watching people run away from the truth. Most human beings would quit after 1 month. But prophets are not like ordinary people. Nuh cared about his nation deeply. Even when they insulted him, he still wanted them to be saved. But the disbelievers became more arrogant with time. The rich leaders gathered together and began poisoning people against him. "This man only wants power," they said. "He's trying to control you. He's crazy." And slowly, people believed the lies. The believers remained few, very few. One night, after centuries of pain, Allah revealed something terrifying to him. "No more people from your nation will believe." That was the moment everything changed. The door of mercy was beginning to close. Nuh felt crushed, not because he was tired, but because he knew what would come next. Punishment. A punishment so massive, humanity would never forget it. Nuh raised his hands toward the sky and made a heartbreaking dua. "My Lord, they have rejected me. They follow pride and wealth instead of truth. They are leading people further away from you." His voice trembled with pain. Then he said, "My Lord, do not leave these oppressors upon the earth." And Allah accepted the prayer of his prophet. Soon, the world was about to witness something it had never seen before. The flood was over. The screams had vanished, the waves became silent, and the same world that once mocked NUH was gone forever beneath the water. Then Allah commanded the skies to stop raining. Instantly, the storm disappeared. For the first time in days, sunlight touched the earth again. The ark slowly rested upon a mountain, and inside that ark were the only people left alive on earth. The believers stepped outside carefully, their eyes filled with shock. Everything had changed. The cities were gone, the arrogance was gone, the people who laughed at Allah's warnings were gone too. Only truth remained, and NUH, peace be upon him, fell into sujood before Allah. Imagine the emotions in that moment. 950 years of preaching, 950 years of rejection, 950 years of heartbreak, and through all of it, Allah never abandoned him. Even after losing his own son, NUH stayed loyal to Allah. That's real faith, not worshiping Allah only when life feels easy, but trusting him, even when your heart is breaking. And maybe that's why the story of NUH still hits so hard today, because humanity hasn't changed much. People still ignore Allah. People still chase money, fame, and desires. People still laugh at those who hold on to faith. And just like the people of NUH, many think they have unlimited time. But one day, every soul will meet Allah. No followers, no money, no status, no excuses, just you and your deeds. So before your own storm arrives, before your time runs out, return to Allah.